Okay, so today I'm going to focus on the Nazi Germany paper and the explain why question. Here are, if I just move this out of the way, here are the most likely questions, the 11 most likely questions. I'm going to talk through for the ones in bold, a little bit more detail. Reparations and war guilt. You can only get 9 marks. So in order to get the high level, level 4, what you must do is talk about the stimulus and your own research. So let's focus on this question. Why was the Treaty of Versailles so unpopular? So here we go. So you may want to just freeze this or take a picture of it. So there's really 6 things. Obviously they have given you 2, reparations and war guilt, but there's obviously 6 more things. So for example, Germany felt dictated to. It wasn't invited to the conference and it felt like it was being dictated to like a child. They felt stabbed in the back. Remember, Germany had not been invaded during the war, and instead the army had been betrayed by the Weimar politicians. Then, obviously, reparations. You'd probably start writing about that first of all in your answer. You know, they had to pay a huge sum, 6,600 million. You know, why should Germany pay if all sides, France and Britain, had caused the damage? Number 4, war guilt. They were forced to accept guilt. You know, Germany had not started this war. You know, if you track it back to Franz Ferdinand, you know, Germany in effect was only supporting its friend through its alliance with Austria. Number 5, it had lost its military. How could we defend ourselves with such a small army and no air force? And 6, parts of Germany were given to its old enemy, the French, like Alsace. And inevitably, when World War II started, you know, the first country they invaded was Poland, because that was a part of Germany that had been given after the end of the First World War. So in summary, they will give you 2 of the 6 things. If you can focus on talking about those things, that would be amazing. Second question I'm going to focus on is going to be about Stresemann. How did he improve Germany after 1920? So again, they will give you 2. They could give you the Rentenmark. So obviously he was able to issue a new currency. They tied this to the value of gold. In effect, it ended hyperinflation and increased confidence. Also, the Dawes Plan, this was in agreement with the Americans, that they reduced the amount Germany had to pay each month, and US banks lent Germany a huge amount of money. Later on was the Young Plan, which reduced the total reparations bill to 2 billion and extended the length of the repayment, so in effect it was affordable. So they were the kind of things that he was trying to do with the economy. Also, he improved foreign relations by doing 3 things. First of all was the Locarno Pact. This meant they had agreements with France, and they began to discuss German membership of the League of Nations. It became a member of the League of Nations in 1926, and it showed that Germany again was part of the worldwide community. And the Kellogg-Briand Pact, it committed countries to avoiding war, and again showed that Germany was part of the European powers. So that's potentially quite a difficult question, but if you break it into 2 halves, economic and foreign policy. Third question, why did Hitler become Chancellor in 1933? This is a complicated area. Hopefully, obviously, they'll give you 2 things. First but not least is the Wall Street crash. US banks lost billions overnight. So all that money that had been lent through the Dawes Plan, all those loans were demanded to be repaid. The depression that led to this led to huge unemployment. Obviously, people who are unemployed get desperate, might start listening to the appeal of the Nazis. Thirdly, Hitler's appeal was an excellent orator, excellent speaker. He was the first politician to travel by plane around Germany, did loads of key speeches. Propaganda, you know, they kept it simple, you know, work and bread. They particularly appealed to women and targeted women and middle classes, because obviously the middle class had lost savings through hyperinflation, and women felt unsafe from street battles and things going on, the conflict with communism. Von Papen, well, he thought he could control Hitler, totally misjudged the situation, and he was giving Hindenburg poor advice. And Hindenburg himself, even though he disliked Hitler, was old and frail, you know, he was in his 80s, and was eventually persuaded to appoint Hitler as Chancellor. So again, these are the key reasons why he was able to become Chancellor. Last question is about how was he able to consolidate his power, and really this is through a number of things. So again, they will give you 2. So let's say, for example, they gave you the Reichstag Fire, This enabled them to blame communists and obviously make sure they weren't sitting in the Reichstag. This gave them the 2/3 majority that they needed to change the constitution, i.e. pass the Enabling Act. So this enabled Hitler to make a new law where he could do pretty much whatever he wanted to do. Then the Night of the Long Knives. This was an attack on the SA and the murder of Rom. This intimidated his friends as well as his enemies and really consolidated his position within the Nazi Party and within Germany. He set up concentration camps. The SS, the Gestapo spied on people, and judges had to swear allegiance to the Nazis. Church was a big threat to him, so he signed a concordant with an agreement with the Pope, which effectively meant that the Nazis would agree to secure Catholic faith in Germany. He reneged on that, and he also set up a new church called the Rote Church, which effectively Nazified services. They censored all media, foreign press, and they controlled all the domestic newspapers and radio. They had massive rallies. So that's the idea that if you're in a big crowd, you know, why are you not part of that crowd? And last but not least was the death of Hindenburg. He personally disliked Hitler, and this enabled Hitler to merge the role of Chancellor and President.